Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a hair discussion, or I want to call it a hair talk video, and we're going to talk about purchasing hair from the beauty supply store. Now, if you are like me, you come from an age of purchasing hair at the beauty supply store. Back when I was growing up, there was no online stores, there was no AliExpress, there wasn't all these 15 million hair boutiques coming up giving you options for hair. You had to do like I did, go to the beauty supply store and buy your hair. There was no Mongolian, there was no Peruvian, it was just 100% human hair. And a lot of the times when you purchase the hair from the beauty supply store, you knew 99.9% that that hair was not going to be able to be used again. Back then, weave was a habit. I mean, it still is now, but buying hair at the beauty supply store meant that you were going to the beauty supply store every 2 to 3 months, depending on how long or what kind of style you had in your hair. But you knew that that weave was only a one-time use and there was no saving it, there was no reusing it. Sometimes you could get away with wearing it for 3 months, like I said, depending on the style. But for the most part, the weave was a 1 to 2 month hairstyle. Growing up back then, weave was a luxury. It wasn't something that I had access to at all times. If I wanted to have a new do, I had to ask my mom and dad, and it was like one of those things like, you better wear your real hair and save up for the weave that you want from the beauty supply store. There wasn't that many options with choosing hair like it is now, and sometimes when you go online, hair is a little bit overwhelming because there's so many different styles and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, especially if you're buying hair from an expensive company. Sometimes you get a good batch, other times you get a really bad batch, and sometimes you pay really good money and still end up getting a bad batch. There's always this toss-up with buying hair from these online stores. There's so many different options, there's so many different styles. There's so much to choose from that you are constantly running a risk. Sometimes these companies are very reputable, but there are a lot of companies that are springing up out of nowhere that are selling these grade A hair and you just don't know. I wanted to take a break from getting hair from AliExpress and trying out different hair companies that have been coming up all over the place. And I just wanted to go back to my roots and buy hair at the beauty supply store. I actually miss going to the hair store, touching the hair, smelling the hair. I missed all of that. The hair that you bought at the beauty supply store was always 100% human hair. There was no Remy, there was no Peruvian, there was no Mongolian, there was no Brazilian. It was just 100% human hair. So all the hair smelled the same. There was no distinct smell. There was no high quality smell to, I mean, I don't know if the hair would smell like high quality, but there was no high qualityness to the hair. You just knew it was 100% human hair. So going back to the beauty supply store, it was just nice being able to actually see the hair and actually seeing the difference between buying 100% human hair and ordering Mongolian, Peruvian, Brazilian, because the hair texture is just different. The hair texture is rougher, it's a little bit more on the coarse side. Like I said, I wanted to go back to my roots and buy hair from the beauty supply store, and I went to my local beauty supply store and they really have stepped up their game. All of these new hair companies springing up out of nowhere, these beauty supply stores, in order to stay in business, they have to kind of sort of compete with these online companies. This particular beauty supply store that I went to, they had a section in the back that was 100% human hair, but when you first walked in at the counter or behind the counter, they had what they considered their premium quality hair. They had hair that was Brazilian, they even had Remy. They had several options regarding the premium hair that they had available, and I knew I wanted to go curly and I knew I wanted to have something big and voluminous, and that's why I went with this type of hairdo, because I wanted to try something different. I've always done the either straight hair or the wavy hair, and I just wanted to explore and branch out. So when I went to this particular beauty supply store, I had expressed to them what it is that I wanted. She had told me about this new style of hair that came out, and it was 100% Brazilian hair. So that intrigued me and I went ahead and bought it. So this is what the hair package looks like. It is the 100% virgin hair. It is the Brazilian natural unprocessed hair, and it is in the pure Bohemian. That's the name of the style that I have installed in my head right now. And let me show you what the picture looks like when you open the package. So this is what the picture of the hair looks like when you open the package. I purchased 4 bundles of this hair, 2 12 inches, 1 14 inch, and a 16 inch. And with curly hair, you do have to keep in mind that even though you get long lengths, they're not going to be that long because it is curly hair, because the hair is tighter, it's curlier. So my 16 inch, when she had put it in, I want to say ended up right around my shoulder, but she trimmed it just to make it match all of the hair and give me more of that voluminous look that I was going for. So that's pretty much my experience with buying the hair. I am of the old school generation. Y'all new school just do not know anything about buying hair at the beauty supply store, but if you're from the old school generation, you understand our struggles. But buying hair from the beauty supply store was so reminiscent of the times that I did when I was younger. So it was a nice feeling of nostalgia going back to the beauty supply store and purchasing hair and talking to the lady behind the counter and discussing with her the new types of hair that they had available. So with all that being said, I wanted to give you my review on buying hair at the beauty supply store, woman to woman, telling you whether or not it's worth it. In my opinion, buying hair from the beauty supply store is an option that I would resort to as a last option. The hair is still, even though this hair is 100% Brazilian, I know that curly hair still tends to shed, but this one sheds a lot. When I run my fingers through, as you can see, I'm pulling onto it. It's like not of great quality, and as you can see, I'm pulling out huge strands of hair, and I have literally dust bunnies all over my house that I constantly have to pick up because of the amount of hair that sheds from this hair. I run my fingers through it and it never fails. Look, this is an even bigger chunk. I put water on it just to keep it looking hydrated, because if not, it will look dry, and it doesn't look like this. I had to put in a lot of work, well, not a lot, just a little bit of work to just get this hair to look decent. I've been rocking this hair for the past 3 weeks now, and it has been a great intermediate hairstyle. It is a hairstyle that I would go back to in that in-between time when I just don't know what I want to do it and I don't know which hair company to try out. If you are familiar with my channel, I do get offered the opportunity to try out hair and let you guys know my true thoughts, but every once in a while I do want to branch out and try something different, just so that way I can come to you guys and let you know my true thoughts, because the whole point of my channel is not only trying out new products, but giving you guys my honest opinion to know whether or not to try it out or just leave it alone. I would definitely not exclude going to the beauty supply store, because I have to say that they have stepped up their game. I do plan on trying a different style, maybe going straight or trying another Brazilian style versus going curly, because the curly one is not of a good representation of a beauty supply hair store, because curly hair already has a bad reputation. So I do want to try another hairstyle and let you guys know my overall thoughts about truly going to the beauty supply store. But if you do have a beauty supply store near you and you just want to give them a try, I definitely recommend going to the beauty supply store, because they always run great promotions. I purchased 3 bundles for, I believe, $110, and then they added on the 4th pack because it was actually a 3 bundle deal. But I like thick hair, I like big hair, and if I was gonna go curly, I wanted it to be very thick and very fluffy. So I got 4 bundles and I paid $30 extra. Would I recommend buying hair from the beauty supply store? I would, if it was a last resort. Like if you did not want to wait for hair to be shipped to you, if you had an event to go to that you needed the hair due like the next day and you could not come up with the hairstyle that you wanted, I definitely recommend going to the beauty supply store. But just be warned that the hair will be a one-time use and you will essentially get what you pay for. So I would recommend it, like I said, as a last resort, but it's still an option to help switch it up. And if you want to do something different, hey, knock yourself out. I love going to the beauty supply store. I think it is a nice, convenient option, especially for people who want to do something different. Beauty supply stores are always running promotions to get you to come in to buy hair. Like I said, they do have to compete with these online competitors. So I would recommend just checking it out and seeing what different options they have. And like I said, a lot of them are stepping up their game by introducing 100% Brazilian hair. So it's an option to try out. if you want to. I know that buying hair is expensive and sometimes you do not have the means to purchase the hair, so going to the beauty supply store is a nice alternative to buying hair online. So those are my thoughts on purchasing hair at the beauty supply store. I give them a thumbs up for actually trying to compete with these online companies. I just want them to step up their game just a little bit more, because if they are going to try to compete with these online companies that are selling 5A, 6A, 7A grade hair that's of better quality and that will last longer through more than one use, then they're gonna have to come with it just a little bit more. But other than that, it's a nice resource to have as a backup. I do appreciate that the beauty supply stores, not only do they sell hair, but they also have wigs, 100% human hair wigs and synthetic wigs. So if you're looking to switch it up, like I said, it's definitely a great alternative than to buying hair online. So those are my thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys on the beauty supply store hair. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below and I'll be more than happy to answer. But other than that, that's all I wanted to tell you guys about the hair. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.